Guys, welcome back to my channel. It's Life with Nick. If you are new, my name is Nikki and I do videos on business, lifestyle, and fashion. So today I'm back with another video, another Atlanta edition video. So this is kind of a highly requested video that I'm doing for you guys. Had a few different people ask me to do this, and today I'm doing a if do not move to Atlanta if. Basically, I'm just here to give you guys some pointers. This city is overpopulating and I love it so much. I definitely won't be one of those people that said don't move here just because I feel like it's such a great place to live. But it's definitely not a good place for everybody. So I'm basically here to just give some pointers on, you know, whether or not you should move here. If you're somebody who's meant to live here, if you're not, because just because it is a nice place, it can also be a very stressful place to live at times too, because there are many people, and with there being many people comes many problems. So before I get into the video, if you have not already done so, go ahead and subscribe to my channel, turn on that notification bell, and let's go ahead and get into the video. All right, first on my list, I feel like everybody knows this. Even if you do not live here, you should know this because people talk about it all the time. Do not move here if you are not somebody who can deal with sitting in traffic or tolerate traffic. Traffic here is like outrageous. And when I tell you it's outrageous, it's outrageous. You can literally live 8 minutes from your house and sometimes take 20 to 30 minutes to get home. That's how bad it is. And especially around 5 o'clock during that rush hour. Look, if you're someone who cannot tolerate sitting in traffic, do not move here because it's going to happen. You are going to sit in traffic. It's no way to ignore it. It does not matter what day of the week it is. Some people think just because it's the weekend, okay, you know, like there's not going to be people out because people aren't going to work. No, people are still here. People are coming here to visit. Atlanta is just always going to be a busy place. So if you are not someone who can deal with traffic, do not move here because you are literally going to go crazy. I personally, I consider myself to be a patient person and I cannot sit in traffic. When I sit in traffic, it eliminates some of my brain cells because it's so frustrating sometimes having to take up so much of your day and you can never just go somewhere real quick. You know how you are in other states, like, let me put on my shoes and go to the store real quick. Not going to happen. Not here, boo-boo. So, excuse me, if you're someone who cannot tolerate traffic, do not move here because it's no way to work around it. I don't know what other way to explain it. Like, you're not going to be able to dodge traffic living here. It's just not going to happen. It does not matter where you live. My dad lives in the south of Georgia. Still traffic out there. It does not matter if you're up north. Traffic is everywhere because the state is so popular. So it's like impossible to dodge traffic here. Another issue with that is sitting in traffic comes paying for gas. Paying for gas is extremely expensive. Look, we are in a recession. I think that's the word. We are in struggle times, okay? We are in a pandemic. Gas prices are up. Like right now, I think gas is like at like $2.70, $2.60 most places here. If you're not someone who likes to fill up your gas tank and you feel like filling up gas is like a scam or whatever, because I've heard people say that before, don't move here because gas is really expensive everywhere you go right now. But coming here, gas isn't the most expensive. So if you're in New York, Cali, obviously you're going to be paying more for gas prices. But coming here, you have to fill up your tank so much because you do so much driving. So you will have to fill up your tank quite often, especially depending on how far your commute is from work to home. So keep that in mind. Make sure you have some money saved up when you come here for gas because that is going to be an extreme investment. I find myself going to fill up my gas tank maybe like twice every 1.5 2 weeks or something like that. But that's because I go out a lot too. So that's why. Okay, so next on the list we have rent. If you are not trying to pay $1,100 and up for rent, do not move here. And that is either by yourself or if you have a roommate, you will be paying a little bit less. But do not move here if you want to live alone and you want to pay under $1,100 a month. That's just not going to happen. Does not matter what city you live in. Does not matter if you are in the hood. Don't matter if you're in the suburbs. Wherever you move here, people are smart. And honestly, I think that is a really big thing down here. That's why people are getting into real estate because it's such a popular and it's at such a high demand right now. People are moving here. So people are going up in their rent prices. So do not move here if you do not expect to pay $1,100 or more in rent. Don't come here if you think you're going to be paying like $400, $500, $600, $700, $800 by yourself. It's not going to happen. If you get a roommate, like I said, you can pay around that, but do not think that you're about to just be living alone, paying anything under $1,100, because that's just not about to happen. Like, that's just not going to happen. Okay, so another thing that I have on my list, don't move here if you don't like to be around people. I feel like this is something that I struggle with the most, just because people say that I'm an extrovert. I feel like all my friends and family think that I am, just because that's who I used to be. But I feel like the older that I get, I'm becoming more and more of an introvert. But don't move here if you do not like people, because you are going to be forced to be around here. This, like I said, this city is extremely popular, so there's people everywhere you go. There's people in traffic, there's people at the mall, people when you go work out, people when you want to go grab something real quick from the store. Walmart is always busy. People, it's crowded everywhere you go. So that's just a warning, just because I feel like, you know, with me being into psychology, in the psychology field, people take that lightly. Like, people don't take that serious enough. Like, some people seriously cannot handle being around a large group of people. Like, just because you're an extrovert, do not assume that everybody can tolerate being like that, because some people would literally have an emotional breakdown if they are surrounded around people, like groups of people, or just people that they do not know. So look, if you're gonna move here and you're someone who likes to go out ever so often to chill places, there's some low-key places here, but the more as time goes on, the more those places are going to expand, especially when summertime comes around. It's going to be real hard for you to find a little chill place for you to kick it at with your friends, okay? So do not move here if you are someone who cannot like, literally, and I don't mean just people who are just chill and, like, you know what I mean, and don't really talk to people or aren't good at making friends. I mean people who literally cannot stomach or psychologically handle moving here because they cannot handle being around other people. So take that into mind. Don't play about your mental health. Your mental health is way more important than living in a popular city. Like, just pay attention to stuff like that. Okay, so another thing is, back to the car thing. I'm not gonna say don't move here if you don't have a means of transportation, but if you don't feel like you will be able to get yourself around, so as far as being able to afford Lyft, being able to afford to get on a bus or whatever it is, if you don't have a bike, do not move here, just because Lyft is expensive. Those things are really expensive. And this state is so big to where it's like, okay, yeah, you can find a job that's down the street from your house or whatever. But it's like, I mean, yeah, I guess you can do that. But if you're somebody who wants to get around, you want to see things, do expect that you are going to be paying a nice little grip of money for Lyft, Uber, or to get on the bus. And the buses are not as common down here as they are up north. I'm from Ohio. I know that there's buses on like every corner. Down here, it's really hard for you to find a bus, especially when you get to like the Buckhead. It's the bougie people neighborhood, so you don't see that many buses. So if you're somebody who depends solely on buses, pay attention to what part you move to down here, just because some suburbs, they do not have buses like at all. Like, and I drive, but I pay close attention to stuff like that. So yeah, so I would say those are some things that you want to look at. I probably will do a part 2 to this video. I just wanted to keep it nice and short, but I feel like the main thing is honestly sources of transportation, making sure you have the funds to live here, just because Atlanta is not a cheap place to live in. There's plenty of other states that I can think of that are nice and more affordable, like Dallas, you know, Dallas, Texas, Houston, Texas. More people are moving there, and the cost of living, especially when you are looking to buy a house. Look, I be on Zillow every day. Like, I be on Zillow faithfully. Like, and some places that I look at is like Houston, Dallas, and the houses there are way more affordable than the houses here. So pay close attention to that. I mean, I understand, like, it's a really popular place to live, awesome opportunity, you know, good people, whatever. But at the same time, you have to really worry about what's good for your mental health, because you do not want to move here, living in a popular city, and just be unhappy. Like, that's just not cool. Being unhappy, it's 2021. We're not being unhappy anymore. We're being happy. So I hope that someone found that this video was helpful to them. Comment below some other videos you guys would like to see me do, and I will see you guys next time. Toodaloo.